All right. We are still an amateur podcast. We still bump some buttons and hit some things.
Well,
some
of us do.
Some of us do. That shows us really small. What the hell? Yeah, no, that's really bizarre. Oh well. If it looks funny to us, let us know here in the chat. Welcome, guys. Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, it looks good there. Maybe it's just my damn phone.
Yeah, I think it's you.
Just my phone. Anyway, welcome, guys, to the Two Dumb Idiots podcast. I'm Nick.
I'm Kevin.
As always, man, we're trying to keep it positive today. We are going to try and get you guys with some news articles that maybe, it looks good to Derek, so it looks good to me. Derek, welcome in here. What's up, brother?
Well, that's what matters.
Yeah, if Derek says it's good, it's good.
That man knows quality.
That man knows quality when he sees it. A little tidbit about Derek, something that I kind of do want to get into. My main man, Derek, on his private time, likes to take a metal detector, sift through the beaches for gold and lost remnants and artifacts and chains, gold, jewelry.
Gold bars?
Derek, if you found a gold bar, please let us know.
I wonder if you could just be like, start walking towards like Fort Knox, like boop, 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 boop.
You guys let me roll through here a little bit. I got a really strong signal.
Yeah, I think there's something in here, guys. I think we should check it out.
In all honesty, as far as like wandering like around like a beach or something, that's a pretty cool hobby in my opinion.
I do feel like if you had one, even if it wasn't working, you could probably just like accidentally like get into a lot of places.
For sure, man.
Oh, my bad. I didn't realize it was private property.
Sorry about that. I had my headphones
on.
I was sweeping, and I just rolled into your White House here.
My bad.
Sorry about
just
that.
like on private beaches, just like boop, boop, boop,
scanning around. No, I think it's a really cool hobby. Anyway, welcome to the show, guys. Hope you guys had a good weekend. There was some chaos this weekend. Our president got COVID. There was some football games. It was a crazy weekend. So let's get off to
I like how you sum up the entire weekend with
football games. President got COVID. There was an SNL skit. I think that's all that really happened this weekend.
As far as I can tell, that's all that happened.
That's all I remember. Anyway, let's get started here. We always start off with a shout out. We like to get positive. I want to give a shout out real quick. A buddy of mine, Jordan, hit me up. Letting me know that there are some other pumpkin spice items out there that we have not tried. A hummus, apparently, that I got to get into. Another viewer of the show, Amy, hit us up. Let us know there's some pumpkin bagels we got to get into. Anything else that we missed?
Apparently, pumpkin JoJo's are like the Oreo Trader Joe's version of Oreos.
Is a pumpkin version.
But they have regular ones, but then in the seasonal they have a pumpkin version.
See, put it on the list.
Apparently those are gonna be fire.
Put it on the list. I think we're gonna do. We've talked about this. I think we're gonna do another episode where we do some pumpkin, maybe some beers and things, and maybe we'll try and trickle in some.
I've been also getting some shout outs like, how come we didn't do anything apple cider?
Oh, okay.
Apple cider versus pumpkin spice.
I'm never going to turn down a chance to drink apple cider, especially live on the show. So, and we will do that for you. But like I said, give a shout out there. Also, I'm going to shout out at the podcast that gave us a shout out on Instagram, Soft Times Podcast. Looks like another show that just promotes like positive stories and things like that. But let's get right into it, Lamb. What's the first positive story of the day? Let's get these viewers off to a good start here.
Well, it's right here. Boom.
All right, there it is.
Your boy,
my main man, Jared Polis,
governor of Colorado, for those that don't know.
Name that I've never uttered out of my mouth before one time. My man.
So he's going to pardon, they said about like 2,300 people in the state of Colorado who have been convicted.
A very small crime.
Yes.
Right?
Less than an ounce of marijuana possession or, dealing with that much.
So he's just going to wipe it all clean.
Yeah.
I love that. I like that. He said that he also says in there for sure that I think there's even like a great quote in here, something about
2 ounces or less.
2 ounces or less. Okay. He talks about in here about the fact that there are people that are still facing like criminal, that for a very small crime, people are still facing issues getting jobs and struggling to get their life on track, all because they have this really like very small crime that tainted their entire record. Back in a day when, marijuana was illegal, it's odd to me, and I think this is weird anyway. It's odd to me to be in trouble for something that's legal now that you did 10 years ago. You'd be like, I've been telling y'all it should have been legal, right? Like,
or just like, hey, just because it wasn't legal, but if it's legal now, like, that's what he's basically saying. He's like, you did something when it was illegal, you did your time, but now it's not illegal, so you wouldn't get arrested for it, so we're going to wipe it clean and let you move on with your life, hopefully.
What I like about it is people don't understand. If you look at something like this from face value and you're like, oh, well, yeah, obviously that's a good idea. Or maybe you don't think that, but I do. you also have to realize he probably had to go through a fair amount of hoops anyway, right? I'm guaranteed there's people with some feedback. I'm guaranteed there's people with some kickback saying like, hey, this isn't a good idea. But he thought it was the right thing to do and go through with it. I remember, you know me, I watch a lot of Parks and Recreation, and one of the things they talk about is at a very small level when you're running a city or even like a town, you're able to push some things through that you like, and a lot of things you go through and people are really excited about it. Maybe they're not. Maybe they just bitch.
It's
and moan.
puppy day.
Right, whatever. But at a higher level, to actually promote change, almost everything you do is going to be met with almost 50-50. 50 people that are just really excited that you're trying to do something, 50% of people that are against almost anything positive. And so I feel like, to get something done like that and help some people out, like, again, everybody's kind of in this phase right now where we're trying to do the right thing and trying to bring people together. I thought this was a really nice bill. So anyway, we like that. We like that get started. Hey, we got some people trickling in late. What's up, guys? Welcome to the podcast. Thanks for joining in here. All right, Lamb, what's our second best positive story? This is the real one, though, man. The second story.
This is the one that, yeah.
If you guys didn't hear about this, this is great. I just kind of just love this.
So, Twitter.
Let's preface this by saying we don't get political and we're going to stay away from the subject, but this at least dips our toe in it, just by incidentally.
Yeah, I love the idea of taking something that's considered by basically everyone to be a negative and turning it towards a positive.
Agreed.
So the Proud Boys.
Okay, and again, this has only become this name Proud Boys has only really come into light once the president mentioned stand up and stand down or stand by
ready,
or, whatever he said that kind of got everybody riled up. I had never actually even heard of them, to be honest, before then. I don't think I would guarantee most people hadn't heard of them either. But again, I guess they're a far right white supremacy type group. Is that kind of what a fair?
I think they wouldn't say that, but everyone else seems to say that.
Okay, so they're kind of a right allegedly a white supremacy type group. Whether you hate them or love them, it seems like most people at least are on the side of they're not promoting positivity. Right. That's at least we can go with that.
We'll just say they're not a fan of what's happening.
Right. They also I also just thought of this. I know this is not related exactly to this story, but I know that the Proud Boys have been wearing some brand of clothing.
Yeah, and they stopped selling it.
Right. So the guy was like, no, I totally disagree with what you're doing. So
it's like a Perry Ellis polo or something like that?
Yeah, that's right. I think what it is. I think it's Perry Ellis polo. So they were like, no, we're not going to sell it at all anymore. So you can't have it. So when full clothing lines are like, we don't want you even wearing our clothing, it seems
we would rather not sell this item
at all. We'd rather not even make money than to have you guys wear it. It seems like you might want to redirect your...
Maybe not the best
strategy. But in this situation, after Proud Boys was said in that debate, it became kind of a popular trending subject. So your boy...
My boy, George Takei. I will say, George Takei is my boy. I'm a huge Star Trek fan. He's on the original Sulu from the original Star Trek and has... later in his life, taken on a lot of social causes and really, really does it well.
Mm-hmm. He does.
He was also in a Japanese internment camp when he was like a young boy.
Really?
So he speaks on that a lot. Like, he's gone through some stuff.
What would the internment camp even be? What would they
during
do?
World War II, like when Japanese people were just rounded up and put into
just
camps.
Almost like a concentration
camp.
Okay. Yeah.
In the U.S.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So a guy that's lived it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's actually lived it, and then came out as gay very, very late in life, and has basically reclaimed the hashtag Proud Boys for the LGBTQ community on posting some great photos of men being proud of
women,
being gay.
Yeah,
I think it's Proud Boys.
Proud Boy, I guess women. Yeah, I guess no women. But yeah, so again, I actually saw this by accident. I'm on Reddit a lot and some other sites, and I kept seeing pictures pop up of check out these Proud Boys, and I kind of already understood the gist of like, oh yeah, they're kind of making fun of it. But by George Takei coming out with this tweet asking people, look, just share a ton of pictures of your proud gay marriage and hashtag of Proud Boys. Now, if you look up Proud Boys, if you hashtag search that, pictures of dudes kissing is the first thing that will pop up. No longer even the organization or anything.
I know. We'll love it.
We would call it. We were looking for the phrase. We would call it maybe like a Twitter takeover, right?
Yeah, or hijacking or something. Hashtag hijacking or something.
Yeah, because in today's day and age, there's a negative thing where if let's say we're talking about Nazis, for example, you start talking about them too much, all of a sudden it becomes trending. And that's actually sometimes a negative thing, right? Like, we want the positive thing.
So then people that might have not seen this information are now getting exposed to it in like a negative way,
right.
and
then you end up getting more people on the wrong train.
Yeah.
Correct. I agree. So that's kind of while I like the fact that he's actually hijacked it in a way, so he's taken it back and said, look, if you even search for this company, this group of people, they don't even have their shirts anymore, and if you look for them, all you're going to get is a couple dudes kissing. So love that. Just absolutely love it.
Yeah, we also looked up other ones that had happened. I guess White Lives Matter had been trending a while back, and so K-pop fans took it upon themselves to basically drown that out, and by posting K-pop pop videos, so that.
With the hashtag White Lives Matter?
Yeah, so that anytime anybody searched that was what came up.
Love it.
Basically, like repurposing that.
And we also saw another one too with like Whiteout or that's right,
same people.
Yeah, so again, there was that Blackout Tuesday where they were kind of doing some Black Pride. Again, there was a group that started Whiteout Wednesday and trying to reverse that. Again, K-pop fans decided to start showing pictures of all the things they whited out with whiteout things. So then that started trending instead. So if you looked at Whiteout Wednesday, it was just people using whiteout on their papers and stuff, which was great.
Apparently, correction fluid is the technical term for whiteout. I learned that from the article.
For some reason, it sounds sexual to me.
Correction fluid.
Yeah.
Fluid
really
is the word.
Yeah.
Correction is...
Yeah. Fluid's where it gets murky.
What if it was correction paste?
Yeah, no sexual innuendo whatsoever. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I like as a whole when the majority decides to do the right thing and everybody teams up and does it. We don't see it as much. We're all kind of split nowadays on everything, but when we see something really great, I like everybody jumping on board. You know what I mean? Actually,
I feel like it's a vocal minority that ends up seeming like they're this big, massive thing, and then when people actually like rise up against it, I like it.
I like it too. There's something about Twitter that I think is inherently very dangerous. We've talked about this on the show, and even when we had Malcolm on the show talking about how you put a phone in their hand and they have access to literally tweet at celebrities, famous people, politicians, all in the course of a second. Their opinion now is magnified by like a lot, and if it's a very poignant opinion, all of a sudden it starts getting likes and retweets and stuff, and negative energy can grow momentum just like positive energy can. So I'd like to see it combated that way. I just think it's really... Actually, we weren't really planning on doing this in order, but speaking of like positive things and things that get momentum, I think we should talk about your boy on the skateboard. That's kind of almost the same vein for me.
This is another one that it actually kind of like... At first I was like, what is going on here? And then it actually has like a really nice... Like story to it. So
if you guys haven't seen this yet, I'll have Lamb put it up on the screen in a second. There was a video. Here it is right here. There was a video of this guy. Innocuous, innocent. I mean, didn't seem like he was going for fame, right? It couldn't seem less like he was trying to do something noteworthy. I will just show you guys the video. He's got a lot of them like that. So
so I'll just refresh this page.
Yeah.
And then
there was a video on TikTok, and I don't even watch TikTok, so that shows you how far this video has made it, of a man cruising to a Fleetwood Mac song, Dreams, and now because here it is. Let me know if you can hear it. It's just on the highway, dude.
Drinking that cranberry juice.
Raspberry.
Yeah, he knows what's up.
He knows what's up.
4.3 million likes. Love that.
I get goosebumps listening to him. Such a dork, dude. There's something about a vibe that is so real. So anyway, we showed this to you. I hope you guys can actually hear it, but we showed this to you because I thought the story was cool. So this thing got shared to me, and somebody just said like, this is a whole vibe, meaning this is something that represents a really great moment, and if you can somehow vicariously feel that moment, there's a really positive reaction that comes from that. So even listening to it, I listened to I watched it probably like a dozen times. I was like, there's something really hypnotizing about it. Watching this guy just really enjoy a skateboard ride through a freeway with a cran raz.
It's like you can feel it.
You can feel it. Not to mention, cran raspberry's dope. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Anything cran grape is all great. I didn't have any idea why he was cruising around with it in his hand. So I actually looked up the story, and the story has continued to grow more and more positive. So at first, he was interviewed by TMZ, and what he said was, the video has very organic beginnings. He said that I was on my way to work in a beat-up car that I drive all the time. He laughed about it. He goes, yeah, it's just one of my car's things. Sometimes it breaks down, and sometimes I go weeks with it. It drives great, and every now and again it just turns off, and I can't get it back turned on. But that's my car. And he spoke of it like like it was his dog.
Like,
and
that's
now and again-
everybody.
Yeah, it just like shits on the park sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, sometimes, you know.
It bites the neighbor.
Sometimes Rufus just likes to chew on a bone. Sometimes he doesn't.
Sometimes my roof blows off, and sometimes it comes back.
Sometimes he plays fetch. Sometimes he doesn't.
He just said it so nonchalant, like his car, like I mean, never like my phone every now and again turns off. It's like, oh, that's not that inconvenient. His car turning off seems like something that you might.
And then just doesn't come back on. It's not like it turns off and I'll have to jiggle the handle again. It's like, yeah.
Just immediate, all the time problem for this guy. So he said, on my way to work, car shut down. Couldn't get it to turn back on. He said, I always keep my longboard in my car. And he said, I actually had cran raspberry in the car. And he said he had just seen a video of a friend of his cruising to a good song, drinking some cranberry juice. And he said, man, that's kind of a good vibe. So he picked up his board. He picked the first song he thought of, which is just crazy that he came out with Fleetwood Mac, in my opinion.
I love that that's on his playlist.
Right, I agree. It's just so bizarre that he came out with that. And then he cruised. So if you look at the video, he really is on like a turnpike or an exit ramp somewhere cruising. I mean, that's not a fake video. He's really cruising. He said it was positive, though. He said he was in a good mood. He said he said there's something about being on a longboard that immediately puts him in a good mood. And so he posted this video. Overnight, people started sharing it and said, like, this is a vibe, man. This is something that really brings me joy. So it started blowing up. Since then, this guy has got over $10,000, and this was 3 days ago, so I imagine that number is probably up, but at least $10,000 in donations. I have no idea why he got donations, to be honest with you. I'm not even...
People want to, your car breaks down, they're like, yeah, maybe I help this guy out.
That's a good point. I don't even know if people knew that, but that's right. I'm sure maybe something about that. I also, just in general, I mean, we're on a site right now where people give us subscriptions just because of some positive vibe that we may give them. So I do understand that. I mean, like I said, I've donated to people just because it's like, man, like I appreciate you doing what you're doing. And it's like you don't want that person to stop. You're like, man, this guy gives me good vibes. He gives me good information. He gives me positive energy. I don't want him to stop. Here's $10, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's a cool thing. He's got $10,000 in donations. They interviewed him. They said, so what are you going to do with it? And he said, well, I got a broke down car. I have a busted up RV that I used to like to ride in, but the plumbing is broke. Everything's broken in. First thing out of his mouth, though, is I got to give at least $5,000 of it, though. $5,000 to my mom. He's like, I just think that would be really cool, just to, like, surprise her with $5,000. It's like, dude, it's like...
Yeah, solid dude.
You're broke as shit. You're riding a skateboard on the turnpike, and you're like, I got to give this money to somebody else, So immediately you get props.
My mom would like this.
My mom would like $5,000. It's like, I'm sure she would. So then he said the X5, he might fix his RV, he might fix his car. He's not really sure, but he said he's just blown away. He said he had no intention of it turning into this. I went and looked at some of his other videos, kind of similar to that. He's just kind of having a good time with it. So, again, I love the vibe. And I really, again, I thought the story was positive, but I also, for me, the word vibe is definitely, in the last couple of years, a very trendy word. Does it mean anything to you when I say that's a vibe? Does that do anything for you? Do you think that sounds silly, or is that something that like makes sense to you?
I mean, it makes sense to me. It's not necessarily the word I would go for. Okay. I'd go more mindset.
Okay.
But that, it's like, that's a mindset. That's but the vibe, I get it. Like it's a feeling in that moment. It is a vibe. Like if it's just, the word of the day, I guess.
And there's something, but again, I feel like part of a vibe, the only way that you can vicariously feel it is if you've been in a similar situation. And I feel that way. If I see a picture, right, or a video of like an old time we had, it can immediately bring back like how I felt. Oh, I remember like the breeze was cold. I remember the beers were warm for some reason. You can bring back all sorts of things like that.
For me, it's like music does it.
Yeah.
Like it'll put me in a mindset. Like
I'm
just like, if, I have like different playlists. Like if you go to Spotify, they have it by mood.
Right.
Like, and I think it's for a reason. You're like, I'm in this chill vibe. I'm in this chill mood.
Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of music I'm feeling right now. Like, for sure, if that song is like AC/DC Back in Black or something like that, it's a different vibe.
It's not even really a vibe. To me. I mean,
like,
it's a different vibe, but it's more of like it is. It's okay. But let me ask you this though. I think it's important that what he's doing matches the song, right? So, if like you said, to AC/DC, now it's not really, it's just kind of like a fun thing. It's like, it's AC/DC riding a skateboard. They don't really mesh in any way whatsoever, so it's kind of fun almost.
Yeah, I'm starting my day, like, let's go. Right. Like, on the way to the gym, bro, gotta get swole.
Right, yeah, like, that's cool.
Ride your longboard to the gym, bro, cool.
But this, I don't even ride a longboard. I've never even really I tried skateboarding as a kid, and I was terrible, so I sucked at roller skates and all sorts of other things. But when I see that, what I said to you off air, and this, again, sounds maybe hippie-ish, but there are moments, maybe not even in every day, but there are moments where you're cruising in a car with your friends going somewhere fun, and the right music comes on and the right breeze is coming through the window. There's moments where you end up somewhere and the sun's coming down and you're in a wonderful mood and you can't believe how great things are. There are small pockets of that, and we talk about how you want to be thankful. And if you remind yourself, we've even talked about in the show, if you go, one of the things that was proven to really help people's mood is at the end of the day, you recall 3 things in your brain and vividly go through them that were positive in your day. Say, okay, today, I
ate a banana. I had
Yeah.
a baked potato.
I baked a pie, and it turned out to be okay. And you walk yourself through the steps of baking that pie, and then you take your brain through how it actually tasted. And it quite literally can release endorphins. And they say if you do it 3 times at night, every single night, over the course of time, you will become more thankful for your day. But in a given day, how often, honestly, maybe not even every day, how often do you really, truly remind yourself, I'm thankful for what I have in my life? Probably very little.
Yeah, very rare.
Very rare. So a moment like that to me is a moment that's how I felt watching it. I was like, this guy is cruising and reminding himself that life, he's got a broke down car, he's carrying cranberry juice, he's on a way to probably a shit job. He probably, like I said, he probably was really like, man, life's all right now. And that was the vibe I got.
Yeah, maybe the sun had set, so it's a little cooler. It's been hot. Like, you know that moment, like sometimes you just step outside and it's like, like it's been hot all day and but it's a little, the sun's gone down or whatever. And you're just like,
all right, life is good today.
This isn't terrible.
Yeah, this isn't terrible. And so I thought that was the vibe, was like, hey, man, I'm having a good, life may be crazy all around me, but I can still enjoy the small things. I think we need reminders of that all the time. I think you got to remind yourself of that all the time. Just because you're not at Six Flags or on the beach or, doing something, taking a vacation to Rome, doesn't mean you can't go out back and stare at the moon for 10 minutes and get a vibe. It just doesn't, you don't need, all the fluff. I just thought it was a beautiful story. Lamb even found kind of a knockoff that I thought was kind of funny.
I don't have it, but it's...
We can just tell it.
It was great.
So, they got the guy on the skateboard. So another guy I assume there's going to be more parodies than that, but there's another guy on a skateboard. He's cruising, and he's playing what is he playing in the background? Like an anthem or like?
I thought it was the same song.
Oh, was it the same song?
I think it's the same song,
Oh,
but he's drinking a gallon jug of salsa.
That's right. 2 dumb hippies. What's up, Jared? Yeah, he's drinking a gallon of salsa and he's got like a hat on, like a sombrero or a cowboy hat or something. So kind of not patronizing, but having fun with it. I assume we'll be.
I hope it just like sparks a little trend, like positive.
Yo, share a good moment in your day where you're vibing, man.
I would love if there was like a section on TikTok. And it was just like positives.
Yeah, I know.
Only positives.
I really am like, my heels are in the ground about the TikTok thing, and I'm not even sure why. Maybe because of honestly, man, I've been like that my whole life. Anytime people are like, yo, you got to check out Vine. I'm like, nah, I'm not doing it. And then like a year later, I got one and everything went out of style.
Yeah.
People are like, yo, you got to check out Instagram. I went like 3 years without an Instagram.
I'm the same way.
My girlfriend in high school was like, yo, you got to get a Facebook. And I like fought her for like, forever. I was like, I don't want it. And she just made it for me. That's the only reason I even have a Facebook. So I grind my gears and I fight as hard as I can before I try one of these social media things. This one specifically, I don't even think I hate. I just don't need another thing to scroll through, and I just don't want it.
The whole goal of it is to get you to watch it, and I'm like,
yeah, correct. All right, let's move on. Like I said, this even was a vibe right now for me, man. Like even talking about it is positive for me. I love being kind of excited about it, a very small thing. Again, that guy, you go and hang out at a barbecue. That guy's having a good time with you, man. He sees the joy in it. Let's go on. Okay, so I will move on to a subject here because I think it's funny. Sorry. We on this show, actually, I'm gonna grab this shirt.
Okay. Yeah, get the props.
We on this show like to laugh at childish humor. We had an episode a very long time ago about the silliest names in America. We talked about it. We were on the forefront. I would say we're the first podcast to ever do it.
Copyright.
So copyright that so nobody can take that. And I said, yo, we found a town called Pepe, Ohio. I said it was hilarious. For some reason, the inner child just giggles in me every time I hear PP Ohio. I don't know how anybody can name it that or keep it that name. I said, if somebody doesn't send me a PP Ohio shirt, I'm going to be upset. Well, lo and behold, I got a PP Ohio shirt. So it sits on our little rack back here all the time, reminding us we have good fans. But we saw some other people in the world that
Trying
either
to steal our vibe.
yeah, that it's either stealing our vibe, watching the show, or through some kind of telekinesis have stolen our ideas. So here, let's start with this. I would start with whatever you want, really, to be honest. I don't care.
All right.
There's a lot of things. Go for it. Okay, so during the debate, we're not going to talk about the debate, but there on the debate for almost the entirety of the debate, PP, right in between the two candidates for a very long time.
Where did this debate take place?
I don't know, Lamb. Why don't you tell me?
The state of Ohio.
What? No, sorry, I had the Wilhelm ready for you. Yeah, so this took place in Ohio. We got PP on the backdrop. I got a PP Ohio shirt.
In the backdrop.
In the backdrop. Oh, in the backdrop. You're right. We already. Oh my God, Lamb. Yes, because you're a copyright. They're like, oh, you know what? This is a snug, bud.
Damn, that's snug.
That is snug. We have PP in the backdrop. They're taking our PP out of our backdrop. That is not a phrase I ever wanted to utter. They're taking our PP.
They're stealing it.
Without
Without our permission.
You guys are worried about a wall. They're taking our peepees. That is copyright that, dude. Yeah, you get a shirt.
Copyright,
Get a shirt where they're taking our peepees. They're taking them. So they took our peepees. They put them in the back of their thing in Ohio after we have a show about PP Ohio. And I'm just going to say this again because we deserve credit for it. We did a show about who was going to get sick with the next COVID virus. Who did we have? Can't remember his name because he's a schmuck because we always black him out.
Harvey Weinstein.
Harvey Weinstein. He was the winner of our thing. 2 days later, they announced he had COVID. He just got it. So I feel like we're very much on the forefront.
Your boy.
I'm only 90 minutes from PP Ohio. Derek, get in there and piss all over the place and then come back and tell us what it was like. Are there other people just peeing? Like, what is it like going
They got
on?
more merch. They better have just an entire merch store.
Just puns.
It's
once
called
you
a
get
PP
there.
store.
Be like, you're in PP Ohio. You're like, whatever.
I got a tiny PP Ohio shirt.
That's right. Hey, PP. So I stole your love of PP. Yeah. Sorry, Irish. We are interrupting the football game. We weren't supposed to. Again, talk to Mr. Goodell.
He can't be changing up things on us.
Yeah, he kind of
COVID.
He kind of shifted shit because people can't stay in the bubble. That sentence doesn't make any sense if you don't follow sports. So anyway, we had that, and then just to stack on the PP train. A guy this weekend finally finished a ride, a 2,500-mile ride. He rode from a place called Poo Poo Point to PP Creek. This guy we need to have on the show, by the way.
Yeah.
Ruben Lopez.
So yeah. So Washington State has Poo Poo Point. Newfoundland, Canada has PP Island. So Washington State to Canada, like the other side.
Oh wait,
completely
I
across.
thought PP Creek in Ohio. Oh, this is so weird because this is two different things. Yeah, PP Creek in Ohio.
Oh, okay.
Oh, halfway to his intended destination of PP Island in Newfoundland.
So he's stopping in PP, Ohio.
Jesus. So he's got a poo, a pee, and a pee. Wow, fascinating.
PP.
You guys tune in for the show for this breaking shit. Literally.
So the best part, I think, so it's a 5,000-ish mile journey. So he's only halfway in.
Oh, so that's why he stopped at PP Ohio. Man, again, back at PP Ohio. I didn't even know that. Okay, this is great. We need to do more research. All right, anyway.
But this is the part.
So every day he rides exactly 69 miles. This fucking guy is gotta be like 11 years old. Yes, he's gotta be 11 years old.
11 to 14.
For his entire life.
Yeah.
Like he's the kind of guy like at like 35 still purple nurpling or drawing dicks on your face. Yeah, I don't know what you do at 413. I don't even remember anymore.
Setting off M80s, fart noises.
Fart noises with your armpit. That's definitely what this kid's doing. So he rides 69 miles a day from poo-poo to pee-pee.
And then he's on his way from pee-pee to pee-pee to pee-pee.
How is he? Newfoundland. He's going to get to Newfoundland?
Yeah, he's going up to Canada.
They like let him through on a bike? Like
it's for charity, maybe.
Again, we forgot to mention it is for charity. So he's not just like...
He's not just...
Yeah.
A 14-year-old boy on a bike ride.
I don't know if they called it this, but the article was pretty funny. They called it his scatological journey. That's a pretty good pun. Was huge fan of that. I don't know if the article just did it or this like the guy said it, but if the article did it, mad props.
He said his
scatological journey. Okay, so he probably said it. Yeah. Very clever. I love it. It got him a ton of attention. People have retweeted it. He's getting a ton of donations for whatever charity he did. I just absolutely love the real mature guys. Yeah, Yeah, I just absolutely love the story. It's so ridiculous. And it comes so full circle. It's actually unbelievable that we covered some dumbass shit on the show about PP Ohio. And then a month later, this guy rides to PP Ohio the same week that they have a debate where PP's on the screen in Ohio. I'm out, dude.
Damn,
I'm out. That's it. That's all I got.
Just so you know, we predict the future.
That's 100% what happens on the show. We bring you the interesting shit, and that kind of stuff resurfaces in the news. I actually couldn't believe it. So there it is, guys. PP Ohio shirt is going to be, going to stay a staple here. I'm going to keep it. I don't know. It's going to stay right there for now. It's going to be a big part of the show today. It's going to sit there and cover the decanter. So there it is.
So like in the debate they had that, but then there was another debate.
That's true. That's true. Okay, so let's roll right into it. If you guys didn't see it, SNL dropped a skit this weekend with Biden and Trump. Jim Carrey playing Joe Biden. I'm just gonna give my honest. We just wanted to talk about it. We don't really care so much about SNL as much. I mean,
this is more about SNL than it is about politics, for sure.
Correct. That's what I should say. It's not about like SNL covering politics. It's just about SNL in general. So I watched it. I thought the first couple minutes were kind of funny, and then I just trailed off. I will say, let's at least start with the positive. I only want to bring it up because I know a lot of people saw it, and I'm really curious if other people feel the same way we feel. At least I feel. So I thought it was kind of funny. It was okay. I thought Jim Carrey doing a Biden was incredibly tough. As far as impersonations go, if you're not doing like a Christopher Walken or something really obvious, Biden doesn't really have anything that's like...
Yeah, or you're creating a character that doesn't exist so they can be
like... Trump has like facial mannerisms, hand, mannerisms. He's got all these things that he does. Even Obama had a very copyable style. He did that kind of... Even Bush did that kind of, Philly cheesesteak or whatever they used to do. They used to fuck with George Bush with all his dumbass shit. So then again, I thought that was very tough. I thought they did an amazing makeup job. I thought a couple times he looked dead in the camera and pretended to be Biden. And if you really weren't paying attention, I thought it looked exactly like Biden. So I thought that was really cool. I think Alec Baldwin's impersonation of Trump is just unbelievably spot on. I genuinely think it's unbelievable. That being said, I have seen it. Yeah. It's been done. It's I would say borderline been overdone. I thought the Jim Carrey impersonation was funny for a minute. This skit was 13 and a half minutes long. You watch a normal sitcom, it's like 20, 21, 22, with the commercial breaks. I don't think people have the attention span to sit through this anymore. I genuinely, I read an article today, and it just mirrored my feelings so exactly. It was by the paper of The Atlantic, and they talked about SNL missing the mark, and they talked about it in a sense of like SNL not kind of using the same stuff, kind of not being that creative with their bit, all of which I agree with. We even talked about this, about the fact that like they didn't even do anything fun with it. It was just like, oh, here's the debate again, and we're just going to kind of poke fun. We're just going to exaggerate the things that you saw. Even Chris Wallace's character wasn't funny, really. He was just kind of stating things that people were annoyed with. If you're SNL, make them fist fight. Turn it into a ridiculous scene. Turn it into something.
Let Joe Biden pull out like a water gun and like start spraying Trump or something. I
wanted it to derail into something cruelly different and clever. I thought as far as like giving you material, I thought they pitched you an actual softball and was like, yo, if you're gonna do this, they gave you infinite material, and you guys kind of just said what they said in impersonations and did it for 14 minutes straight.
It might have been as long as the actual debate.
At least informational wise. Here's my thing with it. Whether you're left, whether you're right. Okay, obviously SNL is way left, right? But my thing is this. This is something that everybody can tune into to laugh at. I felt like they did a disservice to everybody by making it, one, not that clever, but two, by actually really politicizing it in a way. To me, I thought they made it actually very political instead of making it about the jokes. What a great opportunity to at least set an example and bring people together and have everybody talking about this. Instead, when you kind of ostracize one side, you limit your audience. And I think they've done that for a very long time. But I felt like you had an opportunity to make something really funny that everybody can relate to. At this point, whether you're a left or a right, you can at least agree that these aren't the best candidates we've ever seen for president. That alone is something that almost everybody can make fun of for. It's a softball. Nobody can be upset. Make fun of both of them for 5 minutes and move on to the next set. I just thought they missed hard, and I thought it was so easy to do, and I just didn't get it. I don't get it.
I mean, yeah, like Will Ferrell used to do monstrous Bush. The entire phrase strategery was an SNL thing.
Right.
Like completely Will Ferrell creating that phrase, strategery. And it was like, it took something,
not something
and it made
from him, right? Not he just made it up, right?
Yeah, he made like it was a hyperbolic statement, and it was just like, yeah, you have to take it to 11 if you're gonna be them.
Yeah, and
you can't be like, oh, I'll do Trump at like a 7.
Yeah,
and then expect it to come off funny.
Here's what I'll say: me and Lamb do 2 shows a week where we actually use news articles and trending topics to kind of create a dialogue. They have to put on a show once a week. By writing funny skits, and that show is an hour and a half long. So I automatically understand how truly difficult that would be. I mean, truly difficult. I think people think like writing humor is funny, but it's like sitting in a room, even with me and Lamb, we disagree with what's funny. Imagine sitting in a room with 10 people and disagreeing with everybody what's funny. Like even Tony said this kind of came out like a hodgepodge. It looked like there was too many chefs in the kitchen. Everybody had their own idea for what it should do, and everybody just came very muddled. But we were saying this. They also had a huge break leading up to it, right? Like you have all this writing. Like where is it? Where is the writing?
The only thing I will say is the debate was what, 2 days before?
Right, that's true.
So if you're gonna go with that,
yeah,
you gotta really, maybe they didn't have enough time to flesh it out like they normally would.
Right.
Like even a full week, would be like almost 3 times as long.
Right. But we talked about maybe split them up into groups and say, hey, your group of improvers go this Saturday, John and your 5 guys, you go the next Saturday, and Sarah and your people go the next Saturday. That way, at least you have some very clever material being worked on for 3 weeks. Because also, this screamed to me of line reading, and I know that they do it a lot on SNL because they obviously don't have time to memorize lines. But Jim Carrey, I love Jim Carrey, he read everything, and he was very evidently struggling to even remember what was written. It loses it for me. You lose it. You lost me. I mean, I can't even laugh if I'm watching somebody stutter over the words that they have to try and read off some janky cue card. I don't know. To me, it just let me down because I thought it was such a... You got these great talent on stage with this great... I don't know, blank, canvas, so to speak, to create
up
some
softball of a topic.
Correct. And you just, I don't know. I thought, like I said, I thought the first couple minutes were funny, but then I just thought
they stopped.
They just beat it to death, and I just don't get it. I genuinely don't understand how 10 people in a room who are all very funny could do it. That being said, let's move on. I just had to talk about it. I didn't know if anybody felt the same way. What did you guys think? DJ, Jared, anybody think like that it was funny all the way through? Does anybody think that? I mean, everybody thinks SNL's kind of crashed, but anyway, let's go ahead and move on.
So last episode, most of you guys were probably here, but we did a little bit of pumpkin stuff.
A little pumpkin-y. We got a little pumpkin-y last episode.
Speaking of, I think we have an ad read we have to do.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Let's go ahead and read an ad here. We have our new advertiser.
So the Two Dumb Idiots podcast brought to you courtesy of
Pumpkin Ravioli by Trader Joe's.
According to one of the dumb idiots, it was considered to be the best item at Trader Joe's.
There it is, guys. There's our plug. We're hoping that TJ's one day just hears that we're bragging about pumpkin ravioli and they end up sponsoring the show. But now, just to let you know, pumpkin ravioli is sponsoring the show. Also want to shout out the fact, so we do this show on Thursday. We tell everybody, yo, this is bomb. Like, this is actually significantly better than you think it is. My boy hits me up Friday, says, Nick, I'm in a TJ's. Where is the pumpkin ravioli? I'm like, look, dude, it's over there in the cold section by, like, the meats and stuff. It's in a weird section. Hits me back. He says, man, they didn't have any. I said, no shit. He says, yeah. Asked the store guy. He said they didn't have any. He said they didn't even have any in the back. He said they didn't even have any in the warehouse. He said they might be another week before they get some.
You're welcome, Trader Joe's.
So, Trader Joe's, we do this thing on Thursday. By Friday, you don't even have anymore. So I would say, at least 80%.
Reach out.
Yeah, I don't want to be exaggerating, but at least 80% of it came from this show. I would be sure of it. So yeah, I'm just letting you know, guys, we were not lying. Everybody's buying it up. People love it. It's hot in demand. Try it out. Tell me what you think. Lamb went in and bought like the whole aisle back for us. So we
had to have a few more extras because we were not prepared for this to be at that level.
So we went back. Yeah, but it went on for too long. Such a shit show of debate. I didn't want to see us get about it. Wow, DJ, really well said, man. The debate was such a shit show. Nobody really wanted to sit through 15 minutes of rehash.
Yeah.
We want to see you do something different. Like, the debate wasn't that funny, right? Like, I mean, the debate wasn't funny at all. So the skit was like, man, like, it's kind of a serious subject. I don't know. It felt unnecessary, but that's a good point. Anyway.
But, so we had some other stuff in that episode that we didn't even get to last week.
That's true. We had a lot of pumpkin stuff. And
a lot of pumpkin spice. So apparently, in case you're wondering, pumpkin spice lattes, top 5 states, if you had to guess. The first 3 kind of make sense. California, Oregon, and Washington.
Yeah, Seattle.
Yeah.
Coffee drinkers.
A lot
of coffee drinkers.
Portland, a lot of coffee drinkers. California, just a lot of people.
Period. Just in general.
Ohio, kind of a surprise.
Very big surprise to me.
And Utah, number 5.
Huge surprise. Huge surprise.
Well, I think coffee is one of the few things Mormons are allowed to have. So maybe they get like really jazzed for pumpkin spice.
Maybe
it's like
pumpkin spice Twinkies. Yeah. So Mamba, we got a couple more.
Yeah, Mamba sent me a picture of pumpkin spice Twinkies. We
just thought some of this information was interesting. We also looked up that we were going to advertise on that. We were going to talk about on the show, I should say, what she's in a pumpkin spice latte and how whether it was good or bad for you. But we at least wanted to let you know. Not that good for you. It's not just some fun coffee drink you're supposed to be drinking before you go to work. That's not what it's meant for.
No, mostly milk, a lot of calories, and 50 grams of sugar, just in case.
50 grams of sugar?
Yeah, just in case you were wondering.
How much do you think is in like a Snickers bar? 75?
I don't know if it's even that high.
Look it up. Let's look it up right now.
All right, so you think Snickers is higher or lower?
I think it's right. I think it's like 55, by like a millimeter higher. Snickers sugar content. 20 grams.
That's for one bar, one 5.6 ounce bar.
So for one Snickers, you could have
so like
2 Snickers bars.
Yeah, and still, that regular size Snickers bar. You're only
that's a fun size.
No, if I want fun size.
Oh, the one fun size. Gotcha.
It's only 7 grams.
7 grams. Gotcha. Okay, so for a real bar, it's 20 grams of sugar. Starbucks' PSL has 50 grams of sugar.
So I could have 2.5 Snickers bars or one.
That's what you're eating. I just want y'all to know you're eating 2.5 Snickers bars when you have a PSL. So we just had to get that information out there.
It should taste good.
It should taste good. Yeah, for real. For real. That's actual facts.
But so it made me start thinking about pumpkins.
All right.
And I was like, what do you know about pumpkins?
Jack shit.
And we're about to prove it.
Jack-o'-lantern
with
shit.
A little game that we like to play.
A little game we like to play. A little bit of this.
Is it real?
Is it fake? A little bit of real or fake. So you got some pumpkin trivia for me?
Yeah. So we'll start it off with just some pumpkin questions.
Yeah, this is some harvest stuff for you guys. So if you guys go into some harvest some pumpkin patches, strap in. Actually, do they have pumpkin patches out here?
Yeah. They're in parking lots.
Oh.
There's one at the Target.
I
literally drove by it yesterday.
That just ruined it right there. Oh, they definitely have one. Where is it? It's over there by the McDonald's.
In the parking lot.
In the McDonald's? There's a pumpkin patch? Yeah. Is there a corn maze?
Super pumpkin-y.
It sounds awful.
All right. So, first one. Pumpkins are fruits. That's just a statement for you. That's just a statement for you. Just an interesting factoid to get this thing rolling.
Yeah, because it got seeds in the middle or something?
I don't know.
I think that's what it is. I think it's like seeds and they grow in a certain way.
Yeah.
It's really stupid the way they organize. Yeah, I would never consider it a fruit, but I'd almost not really consider it a vegetable either. But go ahead.
When would you guess the first pumpkin pie is credited to have been made?
I don't know.
I can promise you're going to be wrong.
Me and Tony talked about this the other day about how would somebody start scooping that shit out and decide this needed to be turned into a cake, a dessert, because there's nothing sweet about it whatsoever. I would say later than I think. Maybe like 1915.
Try 1620, bro.
What? How can they even prove that?
They have recipes from the Pilgrims in Plymouth colony where they would hollow out the pumpkins, take the seeds out, and then would fill it with milk, honey, and spices, and then cook it in the ashes of the fire.
That sounds way better.
And make a roasted pumpkin pie.
That sounds way better.
Yeah.
We should do that.
Yeah, we'll try it out.
All right. We'll have Tony do it.
Yeah.
Tony, grab that pumpkin.
Yeah. All right, so now for the real or fake.
All right.
Then we can play along. These are either real
Mhm.
or fake types of pumpkins,
Didn't even know-
varietals of pumpkins.
Didn't even know there was types of pumpkins.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Not, and it's not orange or yellow. That's way
real,
more.
real.
All right. First one, the Atlantic Giant.
The Atlantic Giant coming in, steamrolling. I'm gonna say real. Give me
Hold
the-
on.
give me the
Hold
fart
on.
button.
Hold on. Ugh.
There you go. Ah!
Faked you out there.
Fake. Oh, it's a fake. Sorry. I
No,
thought-
it's a real one.
Oh, it's a real.
That's
one.
why you got the. That's
Okay,
why you got the
okay,
air one.
okay. I thought that was what it was. All right.
Yeah.
So I got the real one. So it is the Atlantic Slammer, the Atlantic Giant.
Atlantic Giant. All right. The Northern Spiky.
You could make up all of these. I'm gonna say that one's fake again.
That is fake.
Let's go. All right. I like it. I like it. I'll give you a little buzz. What do you got? Give me another
The
one.
Australian Blue.
What? I did. This is a. God, if somebody said to me I had something called the Atlantic Blue, and there's like, what type of vegetable or fruit is it? Pumpkin would be number 78.
This is the Australian Blue, though.
Australian Blue. God damn it! I'm gonna go back to real again.
That is real.
Let's go! I'm killing it with these Atlantic Blues. All right, give me another one.
The Knucklehead.
God damn it! I hope this is real so bad. I have to guess real. Come on, real knucklehead.
It is real.
Let's go. There's a knucklehead pumpkin.
Yeah.
What does it look like?
I don't know. I have to look it up, but maybe I'll pull it up. for you
Yeah, I
right
do
here.
kind of want to know what the knucklehead pumpkin looks like. They're not even gonna have a picture, dude. People. Oh, there it is. There it is.
Yeah.
Ew, that's the one they're always selling at like grocery stores that I hate. It's,
Let's
the
throw it up for the folks.
It's the one you're thinking about. It's the one that's got all like the
weird warts on it.
It's literally the exact word I was gonna use. Warts. It looks like a bunch of warts on a pumpkin. Our small, medium size doesn't care. All right, go ahead. Give me
All
another one.
The Turkish long stem.
They all have very similar names, and I love that they're all so ridiculous. I'm gonna say that one is fake.
That is fake.
Fake. Give me a fart noise. The Turkish stem sounds super real, but I just have to guess fake at some point.
The Spicy Demon Pumpkin.
I'm just looking into your eyes. Spicy demon pumpkin. I don't know. I'm gonna say that's also fake.
That is fake.
Let's go.
You're never this good at this game.
I know. I'm just rolling. I read all your notes when you weren't looking.
Probably. All right. The Snow White Pumpkin.
Gotta be real, dude. I had the fart on.
That is fake.
Ah, that was a good one. I like that one.
All right.
All right, give me one more.
I got a couple good ones. The Warty Goblin Pumpkin.
I'm gonna say real for that one.
That is real.
Let's go.
All right. The Candy Corn Pumpkin.
That seems like it's too good to be true, but it also seems like somebody named a pumpkin. I'm gonna say fake.
That is fake.
That's fake.
Cotton Candy Pumpkin.
Cotton candy grapes. I'm gonna say real.
That is real.
Oh, I'll definitely take one of those.
How about a Japanese Black Pumpkin?
Why it's gotta be Japanese? I'm gonna say fake.
Real.
Damn it! That's the first one I think I got wrong. Damn
Yeah,
it.
you got two wrong, but that's it.
All right.
All right, we got some other ones, but
Let's move on.
we'll move on.
All right, stop
There's
me,
the
stop.
Weeby Little.
We Be Little. Is that real?
Yeah.
Oh, I like it. We Be Little. All right, let's
There's
move
a
on.
baby bear.
A baby bear. Yeah, we just thought it was funny. We had all these pumpkin shit for you guys last week, but we didn't even get to it, so we had to do it today.
There are three pumpkins that they recommend if you're going to make a pumpkin pie or actually eat pumpkin.
Okay.
They said the big yellow one, or orange ones that you get at the store are garbage. They're purposely only grown to be for size. They actually, taste-wise, are the worst pumpkins.
Oh, fascinating.
The Cinderella pumpkin,
Uh-huh.
the pink banana squash pumpkin,
Wow.
and the sugar pie pumpkin.
I don't even know where I would get any of this.
I would imagine Whole Foods.
When in doubt, this is a Whole Foods.
Whole
Okay.
Foods or maybe Super King.
Maybe Super King. All right. So we also have a little bit of technology story for you guys today. We have actually an entire tech section for you guys. We had some really cool tech stories that we wanted to get into here real quick. First off, probably the most fascinating tech thing I heard in the last, I don't know, maybe a couple months here. You want to throw it up on the screen there for the viewers?
They don't need to know about it.
Screw 'em. Amazon has introduced a palm reading device. It's called the Amazon One, and you quite literally will use your palm to pay for foods, pay for items anywhere, really. So you will go in, they will ring it up, and you will just scan your hand. You will walk out. Apparently, you will connect your palm, and the idiosyncrasies or whatever that your palm possesses, and they will connect that to a credit card, and then from there on, every time you scan it, you can pay for things going forward. Lamb, initial thoughts?
I mean, it's basically fingerprints but bigger.
Basically fingerprints, but bigger. That's true. Does that make it more secure?
I would imagine there's more variety. I don't know how, like, the picture they're showing is kind of weird to me. That's the biggest thing. It's like, because they're not touching anything.
Right. No. I don't think
it's just
you
like
touch
waving their hand. So
Yeah.
I'm like, how accurate can be at like that kind of distance?
Yeah. That's true.
Like, I get like putting your palm on something,
Mhm.
like a scanner, and it like scanning it like a copy machine. It'd probably be pretty accurate. But like actually just kind of like, whoop, like waving your hand over something, especially if you're moving it or even if you pause it, like.
Any
just
conspiracy theory part of your brain triggered by this?
For sure, they're tracking things.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, like, I think we constantly are going further and further away from cash, which some people think is awesome.
Yeah.
But, like, I read a little, like, blurb about, like, things like, oh, like, getting, like, $20 in the mail from your grandparents. Like, everybody's going to know how much money you have, where it came from, who gave it to you,
Yeah,
and they can tax it and they can do everything.
Yeah.
You can't, like, you won't be able to, like, give a neighbor kid like $20 to mow your lawn.
Yeah.
Like you'd have to Venmo them, and then they'll
Yeah.
have to like fill out like a W-2 as like a 10-year-old. Like what's he gonna have to do? Like,
yeah.
so I just think we don't need more.
Tracking.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I guess it does simplify things. You can just don't have to take like your wallet out. So I do like that aspect of it. We even read in the one article discussing it that they were a little bit worried that people would be concerned about privacy. So what they've done is they've announced that if any store wants to use them, that they will not collect data on what you buy, and they won't collect data on, I don't know, like how much you spend or some other stuff or all that kind of stuff. The only thing they'll track is where else you use this device. That seems very fair. I also looked into where they're keeping the readings of their palm. They claim they're keeping the actual scan of you and a separate profile.
In the cloud.
They said an encrypted whatever,
Yeah.
so it's encrypted. Everything I know about encryption is they're very tough to break, so that's a good sign already. I actually love the simplicity of it. I really do. I think it could be really fast and really simple. I also think it's going to be tough to. I think it's going to be tough for people to have fraud with this. Just being honest. I mean, I don't.
You can't get hopefully you don't get your palm stolen.
Right. I don't know how you get your palm stolen. I don't know. I mean, like if like you're waving on Facebook and people take that and use it. I really don't know. Is that how it works? I mean,
I don't know how accurate the machine is. If it's taking like, I would imagine it would have to also, if they're smart, some sort of temperature sensor would shoot up and make sure it's like a live hand, not like a picture of a hand.
That's true. I mean, it immediately makes me think of like every James Bond movie ever, and I only can think of like a James Bond new villain coming up and like, hey, let me shake your hand, and he shakes it and it like maps like that person's palm, or just
got it,
or it's like made of powder and just like takes it from him and then he uses it. I don't know. It seems like there is possibility.
Like a wine glass, and he's just like, now I have your palm.
That's a very good idea, Lamb. Yeah, a wine glass is a great idea. That's the only thing I really jumps out at me is like maybe there are some points down the road where people could use this nefariously or steal your palm. As far as things go, I would imagine, like, if I had my palm on Facebook, I just don't think there's enough detail there to grab anything from it. I don't imagine.
Before we do this, can we just agree that when I go to pay for something and the credit card reader, can there just be, like, a quick pay option?
Yeah. I don't need all the flub, dude.
Like, it's fine if those are there, but, like, can I just hit, before I get started, just quick pay? Like, I just want to pay.
I don't want cash back. I don't want your fucky sucky card. I don't want anything else.
Yeah,
just pay and move, dude.
Yeah.
That's all I want. I just want to swipe and go. Well, also, I don't understand because it is like that some places. Like, I went to McDonald's about a week ago. I gave her my card. She jammed it in. It's a debit card, so it always, everywhere I go, requires my PIN. She jams it in, jams back, and takes it on, and on I go. I don't have to touch anything. So it's like, why can she do it, but the grocery store can't do it?
I think it's like,
I don't know.
I guess because the grocery store, more people are getting cash back. I don't know. I don't know.
I said, I don't.
But it is weird.
I know people are like I said, are immediately a little bit concerned that they're giving information. I just think as far as privacy goes, my palm is not really on the list of things that I'm worried.
I'm just more worried about the tracking because they say they're not telling them what you bought and all this other stuff, but they know it.
Right. For sure.
Like, it's on your receipt. Like, they
the
know what you bought.
The information's somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Right. I agree.
So,
I agree.
I think it's like one of those things. Once people maybe like get comfortable with it, then they would start tracking like what you buy and everything like that. But they already do that. Can do that with your credit card.
I'm also okay. So like you know how like on the back of your phone, at least for mine, I can put like my index finger and it just opens my phone, and it's actually like 95% pretty good. If there's even like a little moisture in my finger or whatever, then it won't scan. I could see myself quite literally punching through this machine if I'm like beep and it's like beep beep and you're like, dude, it's my fucking palm. I know it's my palm. It's right here. Yeah, I lifted some weights
and there's
today.
like there's people behind you.
Yeah,
like
my hands are all scarred up or whatever. Maybe I burnt my hand last night cooking pasta. Whatever. I don't know that. I could see myself getting really cranky.
That is a good question. Like if you do, like you cut your hand.
Wait,
now you can't buy anything? Like,
I don't know.
Like you have a bandage on it or something?
Am I allowed to use my left hand? Are they similar? Are they the same? I don't know.
I got questions. Hey,
Jared, you are on top of it, my dude. This is literally the next thing we were clicking to. Look at that, Jared. Why don't you just come on the show, dude? We should have Jared on the show.
Yeah.
Jared, this is exactly what we want to talk about next because Amazon came out with a security camera that flies around in your home. I was immediately excited by this and then immediately unexcited.
Yeah, because you thought it was going around the outside.
I thought it was going to be a drone that flew around the outside of your house, and I said, yo, that's pretty dope. I can't imagine as a criminal you want to be stealing a house where there's a drone tracking you, right? Can you imagine, like, as a criminal, you break in, like...
It, like, pops out of the chimney and just goes start...
Like,
you're just hearing it.
All of a sudden, you're running down Main Street, and this thing's like, meh, just
like, comes out and gets your car license plate.
Got him in my sight.
Yeah, it's like got a speaker it's yelling at you.
The bastard's on the run, You're like, wait a minute, this guy's cursing at me? No, so I thought this Amazon drone was going to fly around the outside of my house. Super stoked about that idea. Can't imagine that's not coming soon. But no, this is a drone that flies around in your house.
Yes.
Don't love it as much. What's your thoughts? Give me some details. Like what else? What's it do? Right? Like
so basically, you train it, like you take it around the house and give it a flight path.
Okay.
And you can, if it's charged, you can off-site. You can hit like a button and it'll fly up and it'll take like loops or whatever and go back to the charging base. And you see a live feed of what's going on around your house. So I guess it's a way of having like cameras everywhere without having to install cameras everywhere.
Okay.
So it's one of those things like maybe you have, and it's made by Ring, who also do the doorbells, who also do there's like Ring home security and stuff like that. So maybe it's set to if there's like it detects like a window open and like it automatically flies and like checks it out. Like if you set that, like it's like, oh, the house is on away mode.
Yeah. And
the window opens, people are like, whoa, no one's supposed to be opening a window. And then your drone flies up, takes some pictures of the bad guys maybe.
All right, so scroll down. I have at least one real quick. Oh, that's it. Sorry. Okay, so my immediate fear is I think a fair one, and it's the same issue that I don't use. Derek wants to know if it's a voice ceiling fan.
It does have some avoidance technology. So if
some avoidance technology. Like I'm saying, like what if I'm walking around on a cell phone and I don't see it coming and it just blasts me in the head? Like
it's a little plastic thing. It just gives you a little. It's just full of little tiny razor blades flying around.
You could hit me with a pen if you hit me hard enough. It's gonna hurt.
I didn't say it wouldn't hurt. I'm just saying not gonna kill you.
I'm just saying. I mean, as far as avoidance technology, you better be damn good. My main issue, beside the fact that I don't know how much time I don't know how many times I need a drone flying around my house. I just don't need that level of security. My real issue is the same reason I don't have, like I said, the Alexa in my house, which is that Malcolm. I bring him up a lot on the show because he is my end-all be-all for electronic advice because he has a master's degree in it, so I trust him. He literally explained to me that the Alexa is very dangerous because if you can access somebody's Wi-Fi, so if I was able to get into your Wi-Fi, then I have access to your Bluetooth devices. He said if you're any good at all, if you can get into a Wi-Fi, you can get into a Bluetooth. So once you're in the Wi-Fi, you have free access to their Bluetooth. If you have access to your Bluetooth, which I assume this thing runs on,
I would assume. Between each other. Yeah.
I would assume. Now, all of a sudden, somebody has access to a device which is literally the inside of your house. So that, to me, is very frightening. Honestly, I mean, very frightening for me because, like he said to me, he said, look, the way that the Alexa works is that it's always listening. It has to be. Otherwise, it couldn't work. So it's always listening. So if you have it plugged in and somebody wants to access your house, they could literally take that Alexa, get into your Wi-Fi, access your Bluetooth, and they could just listen to your house. This is the same fear for me, and I don't know if these companies have gotten strong enough at stopping that so that I want to have a permanent camera for somebody else to not only use but control. You know what I mean? It's like almost like a flying, the remote control plane as far as I'm concerned. That's my real big fear. Again, I could maybe, like you said to me, maybe if I went on vacation or if I had a dog in the house, I could see it like, maybe some purposes there. It just seems like crazy overkill, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just old school, man.
I mean, like I said, yeah, I could see it being like not an everyday thing, but maybe like something you set up for like when you're away for a while.
Yeah, I can see that too.
But speaking of drones.
Would you see this, Jared? Mercedes-Benz Stadium, where Atlanta Falcons play, they are not even using, I think there's people still sweeping and stuff, but they're not even really using a ton of people to clean their stadiums. They're using the drones there to disinfect everything. So these drones have a disinfectant. They go around, hit the railings, the seats. It said it reduced the cleaning time for the stadium by 95%. That's a pretty good number as far as things go.
You feel like they're going to keep this going after? Like, people are allowed back?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I mean, let's say...
They'll have people sweep, and then they'll have the drones come in and disinfect everything.
Right.
Why not?
If it normally takes you 4 hours, they're basically saying it'll take 15 minutes to do it. I mean, do the same job. It's like, that's a pretty good trade-off, right? So very fascinating. Again, without getting too deep into the rabbit hole, fearful as well, because somebody's going to lose a lot of jobs to that. And in general... the more we see drones take over, the more we see these electrical devices, these AI kind of do your jobs for you, there is going to be issues, man. And it's something that this country is going to have to deal with one way or the other. I mean, people are going to like, get a job. At a certain point, there's just not going to be. There's going to be, at a certain point, the amount of people are going to way outweigh the jobs.
Just be the guy who builds the drones.
Right. Yeah. Easier said than done.
Or the guy who charges the batteries for the drones or whatever.
Like I tell you that story, man. We went to that milk factory and there was all drones working. There was like 3 guys working. I said, what do? They just watch things in case they break. So if you want to get a good job going forward, just learn how to fix these drones.
Yeah, be a drone fixer and you will be set for life.
Set for life. And I'm sure that's very coveted right now. Again, I thought there was a lot of drone talk there, but all of that's very interesting to me. And I think once you leave the show and you're on your own time, I mean, just ponder, man. Like, what does that mean for you? Like when you were a kid and you're watching the Jetsons, you're watching these, Back to the Future movies, all this stuff. It seemed far-fetched. It seemed like in a fairy tale world. 15, 20 years later, there's drones cleaning a stadium. We have we're using our palms to pay with stuff. There's a security drone flying around your house. I mean, literally, those are futuristic stuff, man. We're not looking forward to the future. We're in the future, man.
I will say, the Atlanta Falcons Stadium, they are much more willing to like try things, and they seem to be getting it, which I appreciate.
That's true. They're 2 for 2.
They will have they have the cheapest beer, cheapest food in the NFL, and make the most money of any stadium, or at least last season.
Correct. So very, very cool on that.
Love that.
Final story. We'll just skip that real quick. Let's get into, like I said, man, it's already actually been a really good show. We've already hit an hour 5 here with you guys. We do know that the football game, the second one, starting in about 20 minutes. So we're going to let you guys go for that. We just had all these good stories, all this good stuff.
There's football on today?
There's so much football on today. 2 games going on today. So let's get into it. We always end the story. We try to end the show as much as we can on these, but there's a lack of good pettiness in this world. So I'm looking for them right now if you see one.
Petty story of the week.
So let's get into our petty stories of the week. We actually have 2 petty stories of the week, so I got to hit the button twice today.
Petty.
Lamb, why don't you go ahead and start? These are actually personal stories for you guys that we wanted to share. So go ahead, Lamb, jump us off here.
So, I don't know if you guys are familiar, depending on where you live, but where we live, there is people put out their garbage cans on the street, and there's street parking as well, and street parking is kind of limited. So these people, for whatever reason, decided one day...
What do you mean, these people? I'm just kidding. Sorry.
People with actual homes, because
Racist.
our building has a dumpster. So they put out all of their cans. There's one little alley street that also has 4 or 5 houses on it.
Correct.
And they put out all their cans, and there's red zones that are no parking. I have no problem with the cans being there. And sometimes they drift into the parking spots a little bit. You just kind of get it. It's one day a week.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, I came home and there was no spots, but there was trash cans on the street taking up over 2 parking spaces, 2 full parking spaces worth of actual parking on the street, plus the red. And I don't know why, but it just really rubbed me the wrong way.
There is something about coming home and there's already enough things in your day you got to worry about, and you show up and you're like, now I got to can deal with parking. It really just can be like the last straw sometimes,
So I just put my car in park in the middle of the street, put my flashers on, and I proceeded to take those trash cans and strewn them about the street, up and down. It probably took me a good 10 minutes of just walking trash cans around the neighborhood and putting them into other places. And then I took a parking spot.
Let you know, you guys keep taking up all these damn spots for the entire street while I'm strewing your trash cans everywhere.
I didn't dump any trash out. I didn't do anything. Everything was in a red zone. I didn't block any other parking spots. I just
made it a little difficult for somebody to grab their trash can the next day, which I respect.
Because I know they knew where they put their can.
I will tell you this. I got the unofficial title of Glendale parking enforcement because Tony always laughs because I was always putting cards on people's cars because I got this deck of cards and it was all these like things saying how you park like an asshole in like a really funny way. And it's an actual epidemic in LA. There's a lot of places that require street parking, and people will either double like they'll use a spot and a half to save something for their spouse, or they'll just park like an arrogant prick for no reason and take up 3 spots, or like Lamb said, they'll just put stuff in the spot, so you got to like move it out of the way. It seems like nobody cares about anybody else's parking. You gotta fight for it. You gotta let your neighbors know. The one lady next door was doing the same thing. We kept leaving cards on her. She doesn't do it anymore. My petty story is very similar from 5-6 years ago. I think it's safe to tell now. If you weren't friends with the Reganos as kids, we're a rambunctious bunch that likes to get in a little bit of trouble. One night,
bunch of choir boys.
One night, about 5-6 years ago, this was at the other apartment I lived at. Same issue. Everybody taking parking spots. And as we have the issue in this area, there's one neighbor that had a ton of vehicles, right? So there's one neighbor here that's like 4 cars. He's got like a van, a truck, a car, and he's like
doesn't seem to like to drive them either.
No, yeah, they all just sit there permanently. Well, this is the same issue on the other street. This guy had he had a truck. He had his kid has a car. The wife had a minivan, and then they had like 2 beaters on the street that like didn't run. And to top all that off, he had a trailer, like an actual like a camping trailer, like something you would take. You would go somewhere, you crank it all up, and you could sleep there. This trailer didn't look like this guy ever did any camping. It's probably been sitting there unused for 10 years. Well, this guy, because of the way the streets work, you can only, like I said, Monday's parking enforcement, and then Thursday or Tuesday and Wednesday, whatever it is for you guys, whatever it is for wherever you live. This guy would come out every day and move this freaking trailer back and forth and take up, I'm not kidding, like 2 or 3 spots. It's massive. On top of his truck and his van and all the other things he was taking up a spot. I would say there's probably needed to be like 100 people park on that street, and I would say he was probably taking up 10 of maybe 60 spots. You know what I mean? So it pissed me off genuinely. One night we were pretty drunk, allegedly, and we all went outside. Patty B, I'm pretty sure, was there as well. And we got the idea that we were going to move it. We're like, yo, let's take this dude's trailer and move it somewhere else so that he comes out the next morning and is like, I swear to God, I didn't park it here, right? We did end up moving it, but not as quickly as we thought we would. It was on the street, and you don't even realize it, right? But it's just maybe 2% incline, right? This trailer weighed like a zillion pounds. So now you've got, like, I'm getting like 5 or 6 of us on the back of it. We're holding it, and we're trying to push it up this hill at like 2 in the morning, trying to get this trailer to the other side of the street. It took us like 35 minutes. We finally get it all the way to the other street. We move it there. Everybody left the next day drunk, forgot all about it. Me and Malcolm get up at like 7 a.m. because the parking came at 8. Malcolm and me are just sitting out there with a cup of coffee. Out comes the dad. I'll never forget it because it's just the look on his face that we were actually hoping for. He comes out, he just stands there and he looks, and the trailer was right where it usually is. He looks and he goes, and he just stares, and you can just see this fear of like, did it get stolen? Did I move it? He turns around. He looks at his own driveway. He thinks, where's my trailer? We only moved it like a quarter of a block, like all the way up the street. So then we come back out later, and there he is rolling with his son. They move it into the parking spot, though, so I think he got the hint, you know?
Yeah, like, hey, stop looking around.
Hey, stop taking them.
Maybe next time it won't be on the street. It'll be somewhere else.
Yeah, maybe not. So that's my petty story. Sometimes you got to get petty and let your neighbors know that you don't appreciate it. I probably could have just walked over and said something, but I feel like I probably would have got a sarcastic answer, so...
Streets free parking.
Ethel, you punk kid.
It's free country, bro.
Free country. Anyway, guys, we hope you guys enjoyed some of the tech stories today. Some of the and we blasted you guys with some pee poo poo talk. Everybody loves that.
It's the number 1 request on Facebook for our show is more pee pee poo poo talk.
For sure, I'm sure it is. If you guys are around Thursday, we will be back Thursday. We are gonna have some games on Thursday. We're gonna try and put some fun stuff together for you guys. Some quizzes. Me and Lamb might even take a quiz live.
Shout out to our sponsor.
Shout out to our sponsor, Pumpkin Ravioli from TJ's. It's the only pumpkin ravioli you'll ever need. I'm gonna try to keep.
We're gonna come up with the tagline for them.
I'm just gonna keep trying catchphrases until one of them we're like, yeah, that's the one. Yeah,
we put the pumpkin in pumpkin ravioli.
There you go. Yeah. We'll keep trying all the cliches until we land one. Other than that, man, we have a blast.
Put it in your mouth.
Definitely not getting picked up by DJs for that one. Pumpkin ravioli, jamming in your fat gullet. What?
Shove it in your face hole.
Yeah, shove it in your face hole, you loser. TJs.
You won't regret it.
Then that comes in, it's like, TJs, we're all about family. It's like, damn it. Anyway, guys, thank you guys so much. We love the people that come in. Jared, DJ, Derek, everybody that came in today. We had a blast with you guys. We will be back Thursday with some fun games for you guys. Hope you guys had a good time. And get back there and watch some football, guys. As always, I'm Nick.
I'm Kevin.
We are the Two Dumb Idiots. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I've been called dumb.
Thanks, Derek. Love you, brother. PP! PP! Shout out PP Ohio. PP Poo Poo. Hey, guys. Thanks for following us along. Another good clip here. Make sure to catch us out on Twitch and hit that subscribe button right here.